This is a book of Genesis chapter 25 and verse 22, and it reads, "And the children struggled together within her, and she said, If it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord." Verse 23, "And the Lord said unto her, Two nations are in thy womb, and two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and that one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger." Shalom, shalom. All praises, honor, and the glory shall go to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Makakodash, Bakatam. Double honor shall go to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone who continue to teach and to rule well. Shalom to the Akims of Great Millstone and like-minded camps and individuals who continue to teach as one body, who continue to be out on the highways and byways, risking their lives for the greater good. And also shalom to the sincere Aquads, who are continuously learning in silence, as the Holy Scriptures have commanded for you to do so. This is Azariah Gabar, representing the King is Coming channel, back at it with another lesson for edification purposes. Yes, sir. So this scripture, which is sanctioned by Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Kakodash, is going to center upon the struggle continues. Because if you 2/3 Jakes did not get the memo, we are still struggling right now. Okay? We're still struggling on a daily basis. And make no mistake that this is a spiritual warfare that we're going through right now. Okay? It's spiritual. So we have to keep that in perspective. So when we get into these scriptures, they are basically backing up what I'm saying. So we have to go from the beginning, that how Esau is still upset to this very day that he gave up his birthright to Jacob because he wanted a potter of meat or pottage. So he's still upset about that. And so he's fighting with us to get that birthright back. But nope, sorry. I don't think so. It's not going to happen. Because remember, this goes back to Abel and Cain. Now, Cain is Esau's predecessor. And to prove that, when we go to the book of Genesis chapter 4 and verse 8, and it reads, "And Cain talked with Abel, his brother, and it came to pass when they were in the field that Cain rose up against Abel, his brother, and slew him." Verse 9, "And the Lord said unto Cain, Where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper?" Verse 10, "And he said, What hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood cried unto me from the ground." Verse 11, "And now art thou cursed from the earth." All right, Cain was cursed. And how did that happen? Well, his melanin was taken away and he became white. So to continue, "Which hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hands." And verse 12, "When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shalt thou be in the earth." In verse 13, "And Cain said unto the Lord, My punishment is greater than I can bear." And then verse 14, it reads, "Behold, thou hast driven me out of this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid, and I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth. And it shall come to pass that everyone that findeth me shall slay me. So, think about it. Everyone else was melanated back then. But then when Cain got cursed, really, this became something of a major curse, because now he's stuck out like a sore thumb to the rest of the world. He's been marked by Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. So fast forward to Genesis, when Esau and Jacob were born. They were struggling. Before they were born, they were struggling in the womb. So that's why I say that the struggle continues. So, simply put, Jacob are the blessed ones, and Esau are the cursed ones. And I just read that scripture to you. Salakia. So when we get to the book of Malachi, chapter 1 and verse 1, it reads, "The burden of the word of the Lord to Yasharallah by Malachi," verse 2. Salakia. "I have loved you, saith the Lord. Yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother? Saith the Lord, yet I loved Jacob, and I hated Esau, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness." Oh, Slakia. My throat's acting up. But so when I read about Genesis, how Esau was considered a cunning person, all right? Because remember, Esau was blessed with the sword. So when we go back to Genesis 27:38, it reads, "And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father." And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. Verse 39, it reads, "And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and thou serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass that when thou shalt have dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy yoke, by thy neck, thy neck, Salakia." It's not a good day for me. So we are in the times that Esau possesses the sword, Salakia. And what's the result of that is that he's carnal. Like I mentioned, we're in the spiritual warfare. We're supposed to be spiritual. Because when we go into the book of Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 11, and it reads, "Put on the whole armor of Yahweh, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil." All right? So you may ask, well, what does wiles mean? So simply put, in the Bible, wiles refers to deceptive strategies, cunning tricks, and manipulative tactics used by the devil to lead the people astray from Yahweh. All right? So let me just display this definition so you guys don't think that I'm just making this up all willy-nilly. All right. So you see, that's a definition for wiles. So, and it's no coincidence that that word cunning is part of the definition of wiles. All right, because when I read the book of Genesis about Jacob and Esau, and I'm just roughly paraphrasing right now for time's sake, Esau was described as being cunning, all right, while Jacob was described of being plain and in a tent, okay? So now today, you got these Amaleks, all right, that's trying to be us. But this illustration says it all. Religion versus blood. Jewish, Jew. Jacob, Esau. Okay? So you 2/3 Jakes, if you don't know by now, you better know who you truly are, according to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Okay? You better know who you are very quickly because time is running out. Because, like I mentioned, we're supposed to be spiritual and not carnal. Because when we go to the book of Romans, chapter 8 and verse 6, it reads, "For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace." Verse 7, "Because a carnal mind is enmity against Yahweh, for it is not subject to the law of Yahweh, neither indeed can be." Okay? So, you know, these camps out here, you know, being the false prophets that they are, they want to preach about taking up arms, throw your guns up in the air and bop, like you just don't care. Like that group Onyx back in the mid-90s. Come on, cut that out, all right? Because you are leading your flock to death and destruction. You cannot go up against Esau, you heard? These Edomites will annihilate you. All right? And that's going to be blood on your hands. You heard? So, cut it out. Let vengeance be his. Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, and that's going to come very, very soon. So you just have to continue to wait and be patient. All right? So this is going to conclude this lesson for today. Hopefully it's edifying for someone who's listening and viewing. Until the next time, Lord willing, or to the next video. Shalom.